Welcome back, Fourth and Short family. This is episode 13, week 11, Sunday edition. Unfortunately, today I am your only host. As you can see to my left, my left, right, up, down, corners, whatever way you want to look, Justin is not here because it is currently 3:44 in the morning. So we were getting this early episode, however you want to look at it. Anyways, like always, we're going to go over some games, some injuries, some key games, I think, for the weekend that are going to be great. We're going to go through everything, but there's a couple of key games. And real quick sellout moment. Like, subscribe, comment, turn on that notification bell so you know every time we go live, drop a video, a short, anything. And as always, thank you for all the love and support you guys have shown us. And as always, keep it coming. Anyways, let's get into that crazy Thursday night game where it was a great game, but it got overshadowed and you could probably say ruined by injuries as Lamar Jackson got hurt. Mark Andrews is out for the year, and Joe Burrow's out for the year. Bruh. So we lost three. Well, Lamar is still playing, but he did get hurt. Odell ended up getting hurt. He played all game, but he ended up getting hurt too. It was crazy. Like, all the top players got hurt. Like, bruh. I will say Joe Mixon had a great game. Amazing game. He went 16 for 69 carries and then had 5 for 31 yards and a touchdown. He was on fire that game. But Baltimore ended up taking it 34-20. So they moved to 8-3. Bengals are officially eliminated from playoffs at 5-5, which is kind of crazy to think about. As good as they are, everybody thought they were Super Bowl caliber, and they just probably injuries. We'll go with injuries as the reason why. But Joe Burrow, 11 for 17, 101 and a touchdown before he got pulled. I mean, they showed him on the sideline. He could barely grip that ball. So Jake Browning came in going 8 for 14, 68 yards and a touchdown. He didn't look awful. Browning didn't look bad. He did get sacked 3 times. That offensive line could not play at all last night. That defensive line for Baltimore was eating. The linebackers were eating. Roquan Smith was everywhere. Patrick Queen was everywhere. Joe Mixon got blasted by Roquan one play. That stuff was funny. But anyways, both running backs, pretty good game. Joe Mixon 16 for 69. Gus Edwards 12 for 62. Lamar had a pretty good game, 16 for 26, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Got sacked 3 times, but added, 54 yards on 9 rushes. Keaton Mitchell had some nice rushes, 8 for 33. Gus Edwards had 2 touchdowns. So shout out to him and his fantasy owners if they started him. Lamar had a great game, obviously. Receiving-wise, kind of a slow night on Cincinnati. Jamar Chase got shut down. Could be because of injury. Could be he was out there for a distraction, but I mean he had 7 targets though, so it couldn't be injury. He just got shut down. 2 catches for 12 yards. He did get his touchdown, which saved him for fantasy owners. Tyler Boyd got shut down. Irwin towards the end started getting some catches, but nobody really showed out. Hudson 4 for 49. But on Baltimore, Odell had a comeback game finally. 4 for 116 yards on 7 targets. He was solid. Zay Flowers got robbed of a touchdown because of Odell. I will say that much. But Zay went 3 for 43. Should have had a touchdown. But it's all good. Nelson Aguilar, 1 for 37 and a touchdown. And then Mark Andrews, 2 for 23. That's a hard one. They're going to miss him. How much? I'm not sure, but they're going to miss him. So Isaiah likely had 2 drops, and that's about to be their tight end. So hopefully he steps up. On the defensive side, Jordan Battle, 12 for 10, 12 tackles. Awuzie, 3 tackles. Logan Wilson had 9 tackles. Mike Helton had a sack. Trey Hendrickson had a sack. DJ Turner had a sack. Pretty good, solid game from Hendrickson. He was in the backfield a lot. But man, Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith, they're built different, man. That combo of speed and ability, instincts, they're so good together. Bears miss Roquan. Big Roquan fan, and that dude's a tackling machine. Baltimore, they've been built different since he got there. Like their defense has gotten so much better since he got there, since they got him as a leader. But Odefe Awuyi, I probably butchered that, but he had a sack. Van Noy even got a sack. His veteran self. Solid game from Kyle Hamilton. I seen him all over the field last night. Javion, probably butchered that too. Clowney had a sack, so shout out to him. But it was a good game, though. It was a good game until people started going down with injury. So, with that being said, not much to say about Baltimore. I mean, they still look good. They moved to, like I said, 8-3, top of the division. Cincinnati's out. So, conference-wise, that moves Kansas City's first. Well, Kansas City's still technically first by percentage, but if Kansas City loses this weekend, and we're going to talk about that game, but if they lose to Philadelphia, which isn't no easy task to beat Philadelphia, Baltimore could have that number one seed. So I can see the number one seed this year coming down to Baltimore and Kansas City, and Baltimore probably wants to be at home for all their games, especially with Lamar's past playoff performances, which have not always been the best. So they might want home field advantage, especially if you're playing Kansas City. You don't want to go to Arrowhead in the playoffs. That you don't want to play Mahomes in the playoffs at Arrowhead. I mean, Baltimore, they want to be home, and with Cincinnati, what a flop of a season, man. Injuries are a big part. Injuries definitely played a big part in their season, but man, that one hurts. So, next year, move on next year. I think they need to draft more offensive linemen. They need some corners. I don't think they need another receiver. I think they need an offensive line. Like I was saying last night in the stream, they just can't get the offensive line right. They got the quarterback right. They've drafted receivers perfectly fine the past 4 years, 5 years, however long it's been. They've had some hit and misses on defense, but they've been pretty solid on defense. Not great, but mid of the field, solid. And they've spent money in free agency. They've drafted that offensive line. They just can't hit on the offensive line like as a whole. Whether it's injuries or it's just people not panning out, it's just they cannot get that offensive line right. And that sucks for Burrow, because Burrow's probably, you could argue, the number 2 quarterback in the league. You could argue it, whether you think so or not. You could argue he's number 2. Mahomes is number 1. Whatever people think, he's number 1. Won't even speak on that. But Burrow, and he's hurt. Man, that's not good. And Burrow he's 5-1 against Allen and Mahomes, who they say the top 2 quarterbacks in the AFC are. Well, what people say. So, but definitely a failure every season for that team. They gotta get him some protection. They cannot. I mean, you remember watching the Super Bowl? He got sacked 9 times, I think it was, or something crazy like that. He was getting blasted that Super Bowl, and then now he's hurt again. They gotta protect him, man. They have to protect Burrow, because if they lose Burrow, like the Colts lost Andrew Luck, bro, they're never gonna go anywhere. I mean, look how long the Colts have taken since Andrew Luck went out, man. They just have not been able to hit it. Cincinnati's going to be the same exact way. They got to get him some protection somehow. But anyways, shout out to Joe Mixon. Had a great game. Had a very good game. He was definitely showing out last night. So that moves to Jake Browning. Fantasy-wise, he's usable. I think he's usable. How much? I don't know. Definitely should be a waiver wire ad, 100%. You definitely should have him on a roster, whoever gets him. Now, whether you play him or not, that's one thing, because, buys and all that stuff. But he's definitely worth a look, just because they do have a lot of talent. And he went 8 for 14, 68 yards and a touchdown. I understand garbage time stats and all that, but in a good defense. But he didn't look horrible. Him and Irwin had a connection off the bat. So if Irwin get him too, especially with Chase, So with them being out of the playoffs, they can start rest. They're probably going to start resting players more. So Higgins might be done for the season. Who really knows? But no need to rush him if you're out of the playoffs. Jamar Chase, with his back injuries he's had all season, he might not be shut down, but they're probably going to be more cautious with him. And then obviously Burrow's out for the season. So they might see what they got in certain players, or maybe trade Boyd. Higgins. Well, you obviously can't trade, but see what you got in them for coming the offseason. Maybe move a receiver, get a offensive lineman, or receiver for a corner, get some draft capital for those receivers. Because Boyd and Higgins can play. Both of them could play. And Atlanta, we can use one of those receivers. We need defense, but not. I don't know, but we need a quarterback. But we can use another receiver next to Drake London. Anyways, but yeah, Cincinnati out. That sucks. Baltimore, riding high. Baltimore looks good overall. Odell looked great. Zay Flowers having a great rookie year. As I've spoke many times, Zay Flowers is tearing up. Him and Lamar are going to be good for a lot of years. And Lamar having a good season. They had a great game last night. So, yeah, it was a good game. It was a fun game to watch. Nothing really stood out besides maybe Joe Mixon. The injuries are the biggest thing. But overall, good game. It was fun watching Joe Mixon play and stuff. So, yeah, let's move on. Before we get into the game, some significant injuries that have come around. We'll start off by saying Justin Fields is back. He will be playing, which that's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about that game just because Fields playing. They got to see what they got in Fields. They have to see what they got in Fields, and Fields has to show out. This is like a test for Fields. It's like, all right, do you want to be here? Are you going to be our franchise quarterback? Bears have to see what they got because they got a big decision coming. Whether keeping Fields, paying that man, because one thing's they're going to have to keep him and pay him, or they got to move him and get a quarterback in the draft. Who knows? But I think he's still got talent. I think he's still got time left, but this time, now is your moment. This is like make it or break it for Fields in Chicago. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. They got so many ways they can go with this, whether it's one of the quarterbacks, even if it's not Williams. They got a place to go because I think Arizona, I will say this, unless Chicago gets that first pick, if Arizona gets that first pick and decides, hey, we're going to stick with Murray because he looked decent last weekend, his first game back, they stick with him. Watch out for Marvin Harrison going to Arizona with that first pick. Man, and if Murray plays like he was pre-injury and give him Marvin Harrison, boy, man. And even with Browns' inconsistent stuff on the other side, boy, watch out for Arizona. If they get the right coaching in there and stuff, because they do need better coaching. They need pieces all on offense and defense, but don't sleep on Arizona. It's not like they weren't just a playoff team 2 years ago. So, but anyways, Fields is back. That should be fun to watch. DJ Moore's going to be ecstatic. Moving on to my Falcons, Taylor Heineke is questionable with a hamstring, low-grade hamstring. Said him, bring Ritter back in. Forget it. Forget listening fans. We got to see what Ritter can do. Like, keep him out there. Keep him going. Fans, be quiet. There's a reason you're a fan and not in ownership, not on the field. There's a reason. Let's see what Ritter can do. Let's see if he can handle the controversy. I keep saying it, he needs to learn. He needs to learn. The dude is in technically his second season, but his technical first starting season. Like, he had all that drama last year with Mariota, and now he's got this year. Let the man learn and grow. Like, he's a winning quarterback, but he obviously needs to make better decisions. Like I said last episode, Taylor Heineke, the thing I liked about him, he made the veteran moves. He made the veteran pass. You could see he looked like a veteran. Ritter looks like a rookie quarterback. He's learning. So hopefully Ritter learned a little something. And I'm hearing Kirk Cousins to Atlanta. No. Do not do that. I like Kirk, but he's old and just had a bad injury. No. Go get Dobbs. He's younger. But I don't know what we're going to do. Again, I like Penix Jr. out in Washington. Everybody is sleeping on that man. I keep hearing everybody else, but man, do not sleep on Penix. I've watched him a lot this year. I like him a lot. Anyways, moving on. And coming from that game, Joe Burrow, Mark Andrews, both out for the rest of the season. Mark Andrews with a cracked fibula and an ankle ligament. And then Joe Burrow, I heard he tore a ligament in his wrist, so he's done. I mean, you seen him sign. He said, went to throw and said, boop. That ball came right out. So they're both done. That hurts. Mark Andrews hurts. And top 3, top 4 tight end in the league, however you want to rank him. Will Anderson out in Houston. Houston's got some injuries. Will Anderson Jr. is questionable. Noah Brown is questionable with a knee, both with knees against Arizona. Dameon Pierce is out, so watch Devin Singletary to get, again, probably another 30 carries. So he could have another big game. So why get him in your? I think you want to start him against Arizona's defense. Get him in that lineup. He'd be a good. I think he's at least a RB2 this week. Low RB2, low RB2, high flex option for sure. And then Nico Collins is to play. So get Nico Collins, especially if Noah Brown is out. Get Nico Collins in your lineup. He's been tearing up with Stroud. All them receivers tearing up. Stroud is eating with all them receivers. So get Nico Collins in your lineup. I'd put him wide receiver 2. Low end maybe 1. Arizona don't have the best passing defense, but get him in your lineup. Over to the Chargers, Keenan Allen is questionable with a shoulder. And then Jalen Guyton is questionable too. And with that being said, Palmer's out. So somebody's going to have to catch the ball. Watch out for Quentin Johnston. This is his opportunity to show out. And he's had his little moments. He's just got, there's a lot of people out there, so I can see why he hasn't got a lot of opportunities. But be careful. He might be worth a flex this week on the basis of, look at these rookie wide receivers. Everybody's got a true opportunity outside of Quentin Johnston. So Quentin Johnston is going to get a big opportunity this week. This might be his week. He's like, hey, I got to show out. Like, this is my opportunity to show y'all what I can do. Like Boyd 2 weeks ago. So keep an eye on Quentin Johnston as a person in your lineup. And last one, Mika Fitzpatrick is out versus the Browns. Big loss. You could argue maybe the best safety in the league against Cleveland. So Mika Fitzpatrick out. PJ Robinson. I think it's Dorian Robinson out in Cleveland. You're going to be happy with that one. So, quick injury update. Even though we're on a bye this week, got my Pitts jersey on. Still got to represent them. Win or lose, my team. And subscribe real quick. Fourth and short. I still got to fix that. I'm thinking something better. You got any ideas? Shout them out. And you can see right there, move that over there. This picture of my daughter right there. Picture of Tupac, Muhammad Ali. Fourth and short. Bow. Subscribe. All right, let's move on. First game of the week, I think, is an interesting one. Steelers versus Pittsburgh. This one is interesting basically because division. It's about division this time. Division impact. Both teams are 6-3. Cleveland's 4-1 at home. Pittsburgh's 2-1 on the road. This one could be interesting. Cleveland's defense is so good this year. Myles Garrett is having a defensive player of the year caliber season. And then you got somehow Pittsburgh keeps winning. Somehow they keep winning. People could say whatever they want about Pittsburgh, but they win. Cleveland, all this drama with Watson, then P.J. Walker not playing the best, and then Nick Chubb, they're still winning. They got a great freaking defense. And this week they got Pittsburgh. It's not the best offense, but again, playoff implications, division implications. Should be a good game. And Cleveland and Pittsburgh is always a good game every time. It's a great rivalry to watch, and being where I live at, implications. And so you're gonna have Robinson starting, and Pittsburgh's got a solid defense. Even though Fitzpatrick is out, TJ Watt. So we're gonna be watching two of the best pass rushers we've seen this last decade. Both are probably on a path to be Hall of Famers. TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, of course, I'm talking about. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year already. Myles Garrett probably is on his path to win it this year. So it should be fun to watch. But it's going to be all defense. With Kenny Pickett being Kenny Pickett. It depends on what Pickett you get, whether you throw interceptions and don't know how to throw it past 50 yards or 10 yards, and Robinson, who's a rookie. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a defensive game like a Pittsburgh and Steelers game should be, which is running and defense. So watch Harris to get the ball a lot. Watch Ford to get the ball a lot. I would not start any receivers. Deontay Johnson might be with this week basically a wide receiver 3, just based on matchup. He's gonna be Denzel Ward's gonna be on him a lot. Najee Harris could be a running back 2, mid running back 2. Ford running back 2. Cooper, just because it's Cooper, wide receiver 3. Njoku, maybe a tight end 2 or 3. I really don't think I'd start any Pittsburgh tight ends. Both defenses are startable. I'd probably start both defenses if I have one of them. If you do have DSTs in your league. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game. It's just, man, Pittsburgh, they got Cleveland, they got Cincinnati. They got a pretty easy schedule left. They got Cleveland, obviously. They got Cincinnati, who's out without Joe Burrow. They got Arizona. They got New England, that has no idea what they're doing the rest of this year. The Colts could be tough. Colts are at the moment. Then Cincinnati again. They got Seattle and Baltimore in the season. That's going to be interesting. And then you got Cleveland, who, of course, has Pittsburgh. And then they got Denver, Rams, Jacksonville, Chicago, Houston, Jets, Bengals. Could be a tough game. And I did hear, speaking of Cleveland, Joe Flacco had a tryout for Cleveland. So they could be bringing Joe Flacco. I don't know if that helps, to be honest with you. He's like 70. So really don't know about that one. But with that being said, get my predictions here. I am going to say, let me find a pencil here. We'll go. You have to go. I mean, you gotta go. I'm gonna go. Man, I gotta go Pittsburgh. We'll go 16-10 because the quarterback situation. I mean, you got a rookie going against a solid defense. Then you got Pickett, who's not the best quarterback, but he's going against the better end of the defense. But he's more poised and more veteran than Robinson. No disrespect to Robinson, though, who had a great preseason. But he played one game this season, I'm pretty sure, and was. Let's actually look at that. I'm pretty sure he played a little bit this year and was not that. Yeah, he went 20 for 37, 130 yards, and 3 interceptions with 4 sacks. So it's not like he's played good at all. But shout out to Cooper having a quiet season. On a QB carries always going on. 715 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then again, Myles Garrett. Let's see. He has 11 sacks, 28 tackles, 12 tackles. And 4 forced fumbles. Shout out to that guy tearing them. So if Watson was playing, I'd probably go Cleveland, to be honest with you. But gotta go Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a fun game. And I mean, both teams are still in the playoff hunt. Whether whoever wins or loses, both teams are still in the playoff hunt. And I think they both still make the playoffs. What they do in the playoffs, that's a different story. So, sorry, I'm just looking at rosters real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh 16-10. Let's move on. I'm going to save this game for last. Let's move on to a fun game to watch because of who's back. Chicago at Detroit. Chicago being 3-7, 1-4 on the road, and then you got Detroit 7-2, 3-1 at home. Now, Detroit's obviously the better team. Detroit's having a great year. They're in the Super Bowl hunt this year. They're definitely in the Super Bowl hunt, but I'm excited to watch this because Justin Fields is back. Before Justin Fields went out, Justin Fields was tearing up. Let's see. He had that great game against Washington. That game, I watched that game. 15 for 29, 282 yards. Not the best completion percentage, but had 4 touchdowns. Took 3 sacks, but his 77 QBR. The Denver game, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 335 yards, 80. Then in Minnesota, he was looking good. Not the best, but 6 for 10, 58 yards. Had the interception. But up to that injury, them 2 games right there, he was starting to heat up. I think it looked like he was starting to put it together. I mean, not the best defenses, but he started. So this should be this is going to be interesting, to say the least. And like I said earlier, Bears got to do something. Bears have to make a decision. So he's got these last couple weeks of the season to show, like, hey, I'm the guy. I'm him. I'm your franchise quarterback. This is his last opportunity in Chicago to show them. In Chicago, if you truly have any brains up there in the organization, which I don't know if you do, that organization's boom, 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 blowing up right now. I don't know. You would legitimately give him a shot to see, like, give him the opportunity to say, hey, this is it. We're going to give you all our support to see if you are that guy. And then Detroit, who's tearing up this year. Jared Goff is looking amazing this year. Jared Goff has a legitimate MVP conversation. I mean, 223 of 326, 68.4 completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 sacks, and he's been sacked 15 times. So offensive line hasn't been the crazy best, but it's been solid. Then the running game, between Montgomery and Gibbs, oh boy. Fantasy owners, if they were able to get Gibbs or Montgomery and get the other one as a handcuff, bro. Montgomery with his 7 touchdowns, 501 yards, Gibbs 476 on 5.3 yards a carry and 4 touchdowns, bro. Both them players have got opportunities to be the number 1 guy, and both have just went off. So shout out to them two. They are about it, and St. Brown obviously having a great season, just a great receiver. 65 receptions on 87 targets, 821 yards, 4 touchdowns, 102 yards a game. And Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end, 474 yards, 4 touchdowns. Been great. That offense has been so good this year. And it's not like the defense hasn't been the best. I mean, Alonzo has been cool, 66 tackles, 3 sacks. Hutchinson has had a year. Not like his rookie year. He's definitely better his rookie year. But he had 4.5 sacks, 26 tackles. So he's been cool. Nothing spectacular overall, but that whole defense has been, as a whole defense has been cool. It's been winnable. But the offense is definitely what's carrying them. 100%. I mean, what was it, last year or 2 years ago? They had the number 1 offense and the number 32 defense. How do you have the best offense and legit the worst defense? Like, it was crazy. And this year, their defense is slightly better, and talent-wise at least. Their offense is miles better than it was. Like, this offense is so fun to watch. So, Detroit's going to win this game. Detroit should win it. They 100% should win it. So, I'm going to, before I say anything else, I'm going to go Lions. Being in Detroit, they're going to put some points up against that defense. Solid, okay Bears defense, but the Lions they're probably going to put up, being a division game, I'll go 30 to, I'll say 16. I think Bears with Fields coming back, he wants to show out. And I don't think he's going to go crazy, but I'll give him 16. I think it'll be an all right game. I think once Detroit gets up so much, they're just going to run the ball like they usually do. But It's going to be fun because you don't know what Fields is going to do. It's going to be like, all right, let's watch what Fields can do. So, but with that being said, I mean, Goff starter, QB1 in this game. Montgomery and Gibbs, both RB1s, I think, in this game. St. Brown and Laporta, both wide receiver 1s, tight end 1s. Reynolds. I think you get Reynolds in there. I think Reynolds is a low-end wide receiver 2 and a high-end wide receiver 3, depending on who you got. But Reynolds, you could probably put there into the flex just because of the defense. And I wouldn't touch the defense. Detroit's defense, might be worth a start, depending on who you have. And on the Chicago side, I'm a little nervous, a little bit more nervous about that. I think Fields you start. I think he's a QB2. Especially with buys on that. But you drafted him as a QB1. So if he's back, you have to start him. Start him as a QB1. Just because that's where you drafted him. A lot of people drafted Fields that first, second round, third round, if in a QB-heavy league. Like in the Dynasty League, my Sleeper Dynasty League, he got drafted high. It was like first or second round or something like that. I forget exactly, but he got drafted high. It's a Superflex League, of course, which we are. Is Foreman back? Let's see how healthy Foreman is. He's questionable. So with that being said, is Herbert back yet? So Foreman's questionable. If he's healthy, he's probably a running back 2, 3. He's getting activated, but he'll split with Foreman if they play. Blah, blah, blah. DJ Moore, with Fields back, he's got to be started. Cole Kmet, tight end 1, low end tight end 1. He tore out with Tyson Bagent. I know that's not how you say it, but I like Bagent. So that's going to be fun to watch. But I think Detroit obviously wins it, but let's see what Fields got. I like Fields. Still got a lot of talent. Okay, moving on to your game of the week. The game of the week. Let me click on it real quick. We have the Monday night game between Super Bowl champion Kansas City, the team they beat, Philadelphia Eagles. And this will be fun. This might be game of the. This has possibilities of being game of the year. Between these two. And boy, is it going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to be a lot of points scored. I'm going to say a lot. But it's going to be a decent amount. It's going to be a lot of big plays. It's going to be Philadelphia makes a play. Kansas City makes a play right back. Kansas City makes play. Philadelphia makes a play back. Philadelphia make 2 or 3 in a row. Kansas City makes 1 or 2 huge plays to get momentum back. So it's going to be an interesting game to watch. I'm excited. Oh man, it's going to be fun. Kansas City's look good this year. It's like receiving, man. And it's a little surprising that they're 7-2. Not in the sense that they're a bad team. It's just how their receivers have played outside of Kelsey. Even though he's not a receiver, but outside of Kelsey and Rice, nobody has stepped up. Kadarius Toney has flopped hard. I mean, that boy cannot catch anything. I could probably go out there and play better than Toney has played. Pacheco has been good. He's been good, but I still think he hasn't been as good as people thought. People were very high on Pacheco. I was very high on Pacheco, and he's been very solid, but I don't think he's been like he was supposed to, like people would thought. People were putting Pacheco as a top 5 to 10 running back. He's been all right. Let's see. 525 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's 20th running back. Yeah, people were thinking, he'd be top 10. But he's 20th, so he's been good. He's been good, but not as advertised. Now, I don't know what you put that to, but people were very high on Pacheco. But he's been cool. Rashee Rice, again, and I've said it every episode, and I will continue to say it, these rookie wide receivers have been so fun to watch. Out of SMU, second round pick, 378 yards, 4 touchdowns. 42nd ranked wide receiver, and he's been fun to watch. I like Rashee Rice. I like him a lot. And then you got your boy, possible MVP again. One of the greatest quarterbacks you've ever had. Definitely a Hall of Famer already. Mahomes. Of course, I'm a big Mahomes fan. I love watching that guy play. So, big fanboy. I won't lie. Won't do it. But 68 completion percentage, 242 yards, 271 yards a game, 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Been sacked 12 times. Nice passer rating. But he's been good as ever with a overall crappy receiving core, man. They just can't catch, man. Outside of Kelsey and Rice and Pacheco, they just can't catch. I mean, Sky Moore's had his moments. Watson, moments. Valdez Scanning's veteran self even had his little moments. Great moments, but nothing out of this world. Nothing that convinced me that they should be started anywhere in fantasy or on the field. The only ones relevant on the offense is obviously Mahomes, Kelsey, and Rice. That's really it. Watson, somebody else has to catch the ball. And Pacheco, of course. Even Jerick McKinnon was supposed to be. I had high hopes for McKinnon. He flopped hard, even with the injury. Edwards, Hilaire. That boy has flopped hard since he got drafted. He flopped hard. Like, he won't be there very long. But the defense, again, nothing spectacular. With Bolton out, the defense is not near as good. I mean, Snead is cool. Reed is cool. Tranquil is cool. Good tackler. But where's he at? Chris Jones, 5.5 sacks. He hasn't been bad. But again, he hasn't been great either. But I mean, he's getting triple teamed, so I will put that out there. He gets triple teamed a lot. Like, Chris Jones is one of the best, probably, defensive players in the league since he probably came in, to be honest with you. But over to Philadelphia, and we've talked a lot about that defense. I have. That Philadelphia defense is so good. They got so much talent on offense and defense. Of course, you got Jalen Hurts, having an MVP caliber year, 2,300 yards, 260 yards a game, 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Been sacked 22 times. It's a lot for a kind of mobile quarterback. Nice passer rating. What's that? Sack yards. Oh, God. DeAndre Swift is having a great year. Usually injury prone when he was in Detroit, but man, I have him on my fantasy team, and he's been tearing up for me. 614 yards, three touchdowns. He's the number 12 running back in the league. Like, he's definitely exceeded expectations. I had high hopes for this, but he's done a little bit better than I thought he would, to be honest with you. Now, I don't know how everybody else looked at him, but a lot of people, I've seen people saying, "Oh, he's not going to do good in that style of offense. Jalen Hurts is the running guy, blah, 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 whatever." They're both getting the yards. Put some respect on his name. Receivers, A.J. Brown having an amazing year. I mean, he's putting himself in that top receiver category with you got Jefferson, Chase, Hill, and then you have to put Brown there. I think Brown a lot has to do with the quarterback situation, obviously, but you got to put him up there ahead of Adams. So Brown, I mean, he might be the best receiver this year. It's between probably him and Jefferson got hurt. Jefferson was tearing up before he got hurt. But it's been Hill and Brown as the top two guys at receiver. I mean, 1,000 yards already, 6 touchdowns. I mean, he's been amazing. Devontae Smith has been cool. A lot of targets obviously go to Brown, but Devontae Smith, okay, you're 533 yards, 4 touchdowns though. Zacchaeus, out of Atlanta. Goddard. I probably butchered that. I'm butchering a lot of names in the NFL, but 410 yards, 2 touchdowns, solid tight end this year. On the defensive side, man, they're good. I don't care what you think, they are good. Sweat out there. Josh Sweat. There you got Blankenship, 55 tackles, has 2 picks. Darius Slay having a great year with his veteran self. Where's he at? Where is my boy at? Right there, Jalen Carter. That dude is a monster, man. I like Bijan. I wish Atlanta would have took him. I wish and pray they would have took him. But, it happens. He had a lot of attitude problems, a lot of issues coming out of Georgia on the attitude and personality side. But, man, that dude's going to be good. But, they got Byard. They got Brown. They got Reddick. They got Jordan Davis. They got Dean. They still got Fletcher Cox out there. Brandon Graham's still there. Oh, man. Their defense is so good. It's like an all SEC defense, basically. But, yeah, they're good. It's going to be such a fun game to watch. You got to make sure you guys are able to watch that because it's going to be game of the week and has a possibility to be game of the year. It's going to be so fun to watch. I'm excited for that one. With that being said, it is time to my winner. With that, who's at home? Let's see. Who's at home? Kansas City being at home. 4-1 at home. Philadelphia at 4-1. I think Kansas City has to win more. With Baltimore being right there with Kansas City. And really the only team scaring Philadelphia is Detroit at 7-2. Even though 49ers right there at 6-3. Don't get twisted. 49ers and everybody else is there. But they're running the NFC right now. I think Kansas City needs it more. But I gotta go with Kansas City. Yeah. Philadelphia's probably gonna win it, but me, I have to go Kansas City. I think it's gonna be a high, decent scoring game. Remember the Rams and Kansas City when they dropped like 50 apiece? It's gonna be like that, I think. KC 37-32. No. We'll go 36. No, 35. 34. 3-point game. 37-34. Take it to the bank. Take the over. Whatever the over is, take it. Over. Betting wise. Alright, so those are my big three games. Take them to the bank. Alright, let's look at the rest of the schedule. Alright, so we got the Chargers in Green Bay. Like I said about that game. Hurt injuries. Don't really know. Even if Keenan Allen plays, you don't know how he's going to perform. So Quentin Johnson could get a lot of opportunities. You got Justin Herbert, he's just been one game I've watched him. I haven't been impressed by him. Every time I watch him, I'm just like, he's cool. He shows the ability at times. Well, he also shows the ability that he's not like I don't know. They can't put it together. They're like, I don't know. They're 4-5 this year, so something's not clicking there. Whether it's coaching, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's the defense, something is not clicking. They have talent, but something's not clicking. Being 4-5 with Herbert as your quarterback. Now Herbert is talented. I think he's a little overrated, personally, but he's a good quarterback. I mean, 2,300 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Why are you 4-5? I mean, Pittsburgh is 6-3. Cleveland, again, different scenarios because of defense wise, but they're 6-3 with their problems. I mean, Atlanta's 4-5. Atlanta's 4-6. Apologies. Y'all have the same record as Atlanta, and our quarterbacks have been garbage compared to Herbert. What's going on? But with that being said, let's see what Quentin Johnson can do. I'm excited for that. Green Bay still seeing what they got with Love. Love been cool. 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Nothing crazy, but in his first season as the starter, he's been cool. They need a receiver because where's he at? Watson Christian Watkins, has been not good as advertised this year. He is, where's he at? Oh, that's rushing. Christian Watson, 236 yards and touchdown. It's been Reed and Doubs. So, and Musgrave's a good tight end. I like him. But it's been all Reed and Doubs. But with that being said, you gotta go Chargers, even with the injury. Get Quentin Johnson in your lineup. I think he's startable. He's at least a flex this week. With possible injuries and all that, I think this will be the week he actually gets an opportunity. Whether he produces or not, that's one thing. I think he's gonna get a lot of targets. Everett is out also, so I think this is the week Johnston gets his opportunity. But with that being said, Chargers lower scoring, 20 to 18. All right. Who's next? Who is next? Oh, no, go back that way. Apologies. With that, all right. So we got Raiders of Miami. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna stick too much time on this. Everybody knows about Miami with Hill and their defense. Tua, MVP caliber. Hill, offensive player of the year caliber. MVP even. A-Chain's back. That's interesting. Devon A-Chain is possible. They still have him questionable, all that stuff, but big possibility he can play. Las Vegas is not even with O'Connell playing. I'm not even worried about them. You got rookie, same way got him. Devontae Adams probably wants to leave Earth, but Miami blows them out. Not Denver style, but I'll go Miami. 35 to, I think it's a blowout. 35-10. I think they blow Vegas out, personally. Again, New York and Washington. Shout out to Sam Howell. Sam Howell is balling. Leads the league in passing yards. Has 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Eric Bellamy is, I wanted him in Atlanta. We went with Arthur Smith for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know if he wanted to go Atlanta or not. Eric Bellamy, Ron Rivera could be on his way out the door. I could see that happening. I think Rivera is a good coach. It's just it hasn't panned out in Washington. But Eric Bellamy, I think, is a very good coach. And when he gets his head coaching job, he will at some point. He will get his head coaching job. Buffalo got a lot of stuff going on. Head coach, at some point, they got to move head coaches. If they keep flopping every season. New England could be out the door with Belichick. Again, Atlanta. There's definitely Washington for Rivera. Rivera moves on. The Saints, they move on. There's opportunities out there, especially with Derek Carr hurt. But Sam Howell has a good. So him and Stroud 1 and 2 in the league as rookies. Shout out to this rookie class. And I've said this every episode. And I will keep saying it. This is one of the best draft class overall from top to bottom at every position that we've had. Offense and defense. Great draft class. It's been fun. It's been a fun year of football. But outside of that, Giants have nothing to say about. I feel bad for Barkley. I do. I feel bad for. Get him out of there. Get him out of there and get him to somewhere he deserves to be. It ain't gotta be. I want everybody to go to Kansas City, but who needs a running back? Kansas City. They got Pacheco. Minnesota. Rams. Nah, Williams tearing up, but that's another subject for another day. It could be something we could talk about. People who need new teams. But Washington wins it. Lower scoring. 13-6. 13. No, I don't even give him 6. I give him 3. DeVito had 2 touchdowns. Nah, let's give him 7. 6. I think he comes back to earth. Dallas and Carolina. Again, Bryce Young, still seeing what he's got. Dallas is probably going to stomp them. I can see Carolina surprising maybe a little bit since they're at home. Dallas, I think, blows them out. Dak just coming off a 4-touchdown game. Dallas needs to win to stay in the hunt with Philadelphia and all them teams. Dallas, you gotta go Dallas. Probably 27-10. You gotta go Dallas. Tennessee and Jacksonville. I mean, some of these games are just blah this week. Jacksonville probably beats them up. Will Levis still figuring out where he's going, like how his thing. Injuries, Derrick Henry, nah. And then you got Jacksonville, who's on the uptick. Better team overall. Lawrence having a cool year. Kirk, Etienne. Jacksonville wins it. Tennessee might surprise. Tennessee seems like that team that's surprising this year, coming around having those surprise games. With that being said, Jacksonville having to stay in. You have to go Jacksonville. You not have to, but they're just a better team. Tennessee might be surprised. Watch that one, though. Tennessee might surprise some people. Jags, I think it's going to be closer to I think. I think they can put up some points. It's going to be 23-17. 23-17. Tennessee surprises. Plays very well. Arizona, I want to skip this one. Let's go to 4 o'clock games real quick. That one I want to talk about real quick. A little 5-minute thing on that. Tampa Bay, San Francisco. Cool game. Meh. Baker looking cool this year, looking better than he has the last 2 years or so. Getting an opportunity again. Might have found a home in Tampa Bay. San Francisco being San Francisco. They got to stay pace. Brock Purdy back healthy. Coach McCaffrey going to run all over that defense. San Francisco having to win. Tampa Bay still in that hunt a little bit at 4-5. Gotta go San Francisco. I don't think it's that hard of a pick, but who am I? 49ers, I think they put up a lot of points. We'll go 31 to that defense, man. I don't even want to talk about it, but that defense is so good. They got talent all over the field on that defense. Let's go 31 to 16. Solid game for both teams, but 49ers just better. Buffalo and Jets just beat them last time. And Buffalo's got some drama over there, but it seems like every time there's drama, Diggs and Allen show out. And New York's got a very good defense, very good young defense. I gotta go though. I think if Buffalo just comes back and wins it, they gotta prove something. If Buffalo loses, if Buffalo does not make the playoffs, boy, we're gonna have some drama in Buffalo. Whether it's coaching staff, whether the players, the upper management up in the stands, the ownership, GM-ship. This could be a very slippery slope for Buffalo if they lose this game and then don't make the playoffs. Oof. That's going to be interesting, obviously, but I'm going to give Buffalo the benefit of the doubt. I think Diggs has a big... he's going against Gardner. Either way, we'll go 18 Buffalo to 12. 18-12. It's going to be a weird score. Seattle, Los Angeles, not really into that game. Injuries are in Los Angeles, injuries in Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle, just playing better. Gino being Gino. Shout out to Gino, has made me eat crow the last couple of years. Let's go Seattle. I think they're going to put up some points. In the playoff fight again. I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs because playoffs are different than regular season. And Gino kind of got exposed last year in the playoffs. But he has surprised me. He's made me eat crow. Shout out to Smith. He's earned that contract he got. We'll go 17-10. Seattle. Yeah. Minnesota, Denver. Denver on a hot streak. Russell Wilson, low key, like I said last episode, Russell Wilson is having a low key, a great season. And Minnesota's got Josh Dobbs. Shout out to Josh Dobbs. So, just for argument's sake and to get going, it's going to be a fun game to watch. Sean Payton getting them going. Denver's getting hot at the right time. The defense still ain't good. Minnesota getting healthy at the right time. Josh Dobbs showing up. Jefferson almost back. And I need him back. Bring Jefferson back for my fantasy team. But take time. He's going to have fun with Dobbs. Wade Dobbs has been playing this year. But you have to go to the Vikings. You know what? No. Upset right here. Denver will win this game. Denver wins 24. I think Dobbs comes down to earth. I think this is a low Dobbs game. 24-10. And then Jefferson comes back next week. Boom. Take it to the bank. And then the one game I wanted to switch up was Arizona and Houston. That should be fun. Murray. See what we got with Murray? And then you still got CJ Stroud, who's having an amazing rookie year. Amazing guy. That one's going to be fun to watch just because it's Murray and Houston. That might be one of the games I'll watch this week. This probably will be one of the games I'll watch this week. I kind of skipped over that game, but it's going to be fun. Injuries, though. Man, injuries are piling up for Houston. Arizona's Arizona. I'm excited for that one. That's going to be a good quarterback battle. Neither defenses are the best this year. Neither offense, well, never mind Houston. They've been tearing up. Houston might make the playoffs. So, Arizona's still trying to figure it out. I think Stroud wills them. I think Stroud wins this game, and it's going to be Houston. I haven't really picked Houston at all this year. I ain't going to lie. I think Arizona still, even with Murray, they're taking for Harrison. They want Harrison. I think if they get that first pick, they're going Harrison. I truly believe that. Houston, there's a lot of money in Kyle Murray. It's going to be higher scoring, I think. We'll go 27-17. No, 27-23. I think it's going to be a good game. And with that being said, there's all your games. Nah, it's going to be fun again. It's been some good football this year. So tomorrow we will be back again. It's going to be kind of we'll do our DraftKings and all that tomorrow. Talk a little bit more fantasy tomorrow. But yeah, there's all my predictions for the game. Probably talk about some bets I got. I've been thinking about. Got my own. But thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, turn the notification bell so you know when we go live and all that stuff. Again, we got Spotify, Twitter, all that. That'll be in the description below. Yeah, that's all I gotta say there. Take it to the bank. And as always, I know I gotta rewrite that. I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna get that rewrote. Because I'm an artiste. But yeah, we thank you for all the support. I love all y'all. Appreciate it. And as always, we are out.